Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Brian Altano. I'm here with Marty Sleva.
Yo.
With IGN.
Yeah.
You guys all watched the Smash Brothers Direct today.
Yeah, the 50/54 things.
That's right. And immediately afterwards, we actually got to try a lot of those things.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Here in San Francisco, which is really cool. So I want to just run through our 3 favorite things we saw tonight. And hands down, one of them, first and foremost, was the first time I got to hold one, you got to hold one. We've seen them at every event.
Yeah.
Amiibos.
Yeah, amiibos. So these are, we've been excited for these since E3, but they've always been, behind glass.
Literally.
So literally behind glass. So finally we got to hold them. We each got to pick a personal one and train it a little bit. So I picked Yoshi. Did you pick one?
I picked Link.
Picked Link. Yoshi's a little better than Link. But went through the sort of process of, pairing it with the gamepad, super quick, super easy. You just tap it there, it hangs out for like 2 or 3 seconds, and then it pairs it. You give it your name, and then we went to a match where 2 of us were playing as human characters, and then we had our, amiibo characters who were AI-controlled level 1, so they were super basic. They didn't know what was going on, like they were, it was like fighting like the lowest level opponent possible.
Yeah.
But over the course of the match, they leveled up to level, I think, 4 in a single match, and they start learning the way you play. And so if you are, if you're slamming on the C stick, they're going to start slamming on the C stick. If you're someone who goes for items right away, they're going to start going for items right away. Yeah, if you're aggressive, if you're passive, they'll start learning from that. And as they level up, they're going to start playing like you, which is crazy because then, your friends can play against you without you there, but it feels like you, which is super cool.
Robot toy version.
Yeah, so I'm super cool. I'm going to spend way too much money on these toys. I'm terrified of the idea that I train one and it becomes better than me and sentient. It starts deleting things off my hard drive and everything.
It's always how it begins.
Yeah.
It's always how it begins.
Yeah, but those are super cool. I mean, and the toys, they had good weight to them. Like they were, they were really well crafted and everything. They're not chintzy whatsoever.
They're great quality. It was really cool just to hold one and kind of put it down on the gamepad, pick it back up, and I'm I also I see these things as something that collectors will get and put on their shelves, and people that kids will get, and you'll actually be able to transfer information on them and stuff like that. So it's really cool. I think there's just a lot of great implementation that's going to come from it. Obviously, they work across a bunch of games, so if you're a parent, you're screwed. Hide your wallet. I don't even know what to say to you. I don't have any kids. I am one myself, so my wallet's going to take a hitting. So it's rough, but Amiibo's great.
Yeah, super cool.
I got to try out something we just heard about today too.
Yeah, the stage editor. It
was kind of rumored. We knew. We heard Amazon kind of leaked it a little while ago.
Sure.
It's the create your own stage mode in Smash Brothers. Now we saw one in the Wii version, right? And some people liked it. You could sort of move pre-existing tiles around.
Yeah.
And drag and drop them where you wanted them, and it made sense. But now it's very different. It's a lot like kind of what we saw from Mario Maker at E3.
Yeah.
It's gamepad oriented, and you would think oh, you can just draw squares and little drag and drop items and stuff like that. But really, it's incredibly robust the way you can either drop in a grid to draw perfect shapes, or you can go totally free form.
Yeah.
So one thing that was demoed to me was just sort of drawing these kind of space stalagmites or stalactites? Which are the ones that...
One of them go downwards, one of them go upwards?
Let us know in the comments below how wrong we are. And then was able to pick the background setting, the theme, the size of the stage. So you could go intimate, you could go sort of Phantom, or whatever the Link's train level.
Phantom Toll Booth.
Yeah, Phantom. Or you could go Hyrule Castle size.
Sure.
And in between, there's different backgrounds you can pick up, and tons of different music and
you can pair it with any song in the game.
Yeah, and at any moment you can hit a button and actually test your stage out, which is really cool.
That is awesome. It lends itself to that same level of trial and error and creativity that Mario Maker did. We both got to play that at E3, and it's very much well, let's just throw everything at the wall and see what works. Which I really like. I think that's super cool.
So eventually you'll be able to share the stages. It won't be there at launch, but that gives you kind of some time to stockpile a bunch of stages you're working on, master the ones you haven't played yet, and
get all the naughty drawings out of your system.
Yeah, get all the bad stuff out. Yeah. That's what everybody does at first.
Oh yeah, that's me my first one.
You draw male paraphernalia. Just stop. Just make something nice for everyone to play on. And then they'll be able to release all those, hopefully with very few of those things in it, and for all of us to play.
Yeah.
So what was the last thing that was really literally the biggest thing.
Yeah, literally the biggest thing, because this TV had to be 100 feet wide in order for us to play it. The thing I got excited most about at the Direct was the idea of 8-player Smash.
Yeah.
I'm the Smash player, I want all the items on, I want 4 people. I appreciate the competitive aspect of it, but I just want it to be insane.
I'm a huge fan of the way they introduced this during the Direct, by the way.
Where they're
there's 4 players, 5 players, all of a sudden there's 8.
And I got super terrified that they'd keep going up, and I'm there's 100 players here, we need to slow this down.
You can only play on movie theater screens.
Yeah, but it's 8 players, and it's only on, you can only use probably about a third of the stages, because I mean, if it's a small stage, you're not going to be having 8 people in there.
Right.
I played about 4 rounds with 7 other human beings, and it was awesome. It was just, it was what I love about Smash, just amplified. Completely insane. And yeah, there were certain stages where the camera zooms out, and you're like, I don't know what is happening. Certain matches went on super long, but I really liked it. It's just the idea of, we're going to have this on at the office, everyone's going to be playing this game, and 8 people, each with a GameCube controller, gather, the way it should be played, let's be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, everyone should be playing with a GameCube controller. But yeah, it lends itself to that just, sheer insanity that I've loved since the original Smash Bros. And obviously it's going to be a little tough for you to gather, 7 of your friends around a single television, but I feel like, dormitories, work, this is going to be amazing, for parties and everything.
This is going to be the world's leading cause of college dropouts from here on out.
Thanks, Nintendo.
And also, it's awesome to see so many tangled GameCube controllers underneath the television we'll be playing.
There was all these wires tangled. I was like, oh my god, I forgot about this.
Something about that brought it all back to me. As messy as it was and cumbersome it was just really cool to hold a GameCube controller and play Smash in HD.
Yeah, super cool.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, those are the things we saw and played for Super Smash Bros. For Wii U tonight. For all things Smash Bros. And Nintendo and video games in general, keep it locked right here to IGN.